Welcome to a Parallel Project Training APM Project Fundamentals Qualification podcast based on the APM Body of Knowledge 7th edition. You should be using this in conjunction with our e-learning, podcasts and potentially a tutor-led course. For more information, please visit www.parallelprojecttraining.com.
Hello and welcome to our Parallel Project Training podcast. We're doing the 7th edition PFQ and joining me today is Jan. Hello, Jan.
Hi, Paul. How are you doing?
Yeah, really good. And I'm Paul Neighbour. And we're going to do the first section, aren't we? Principles of Project Management.
Okay, that's
So
your
what we
job.
need to do is four things, isn't it? Define a project. So what's a project, what's not a project? Identify the difference between projects and business as usual. Define project management. State the purpose of a project management. That's an interesting one. And define the difference between program portfolios and the relationships with projects and project management. Define a project. What would we define a project as? A project is...
Well, the actual definition is a unique transient endeavour undertaken to achieve planned objectives.
Yeah.
To me, that's quite a loaded sentence, actually.
Why?
Because people talk about projects as unique, and I often think that sometimes projects aren't truly unique. Maybe unique to the environment in which they're being delivered, or sometimes... Truly uniqueness to me is when you're actually breaking your ground.
Well, some are truly unique, aren't they?
They are. They're breaking your ground.
Like,
you're developing new IT system complete.
Putting a man on the moon, that's unique.
That's unique.
But other projects aren't unique.
They're not. And I think sometimes this is where our lessons learned or our knowledge bank within organisations is important. Because somewhere, someone in that organisation has done a very similar project.
Yeah.
Or even the scope within a project is similar. So why do we start from scratch? But that's another discussion.
Yeah, so I think that uniqueness is a spectrum really from highly unique to fairly repeated.
Yeah, Bok7.
Transient endeavour.
Exists for a short time, or it should do.
They're not ongoing.
They're not ongoing, start, middle and end.
Yeah.
Though I often think some projects are like the Hotel California. The beast won't die. They're very difficult to kill off.
Endeavour, hard. Not
Yes.
easy. Undertaken to achieve specific objectives or
Planned objectives.
So
Objectives
that implies
key
you've got a
word.
plan.
Key word. Also, the objectives itself is key word. It's fully understanding what is it we're trying to achieve, why we're trying to achieve it, what will good look like, and that's really the start of a temper project.
Yeah, and that leads to this triangular balance, doesn't it? The sort of understanding what your success criteria are going to be in terms of time.
And also
cost
what the
and quality.
constraints are around that time. If you take something like the London Olympic Games, time was vitally important. It was immovable. It was a hard deadline. And of course, the scope. What do you mean by the scope? Which again is another thing. And also the cost. We don't have an unlimited resource area, so we have to balance that out.
Yeah, good. So that's the definition of a project. Let's look at the next one.
Between projects and BAU, yes.
Identify the difference between projects and business as usual. So by business as usual, I mean everything. I always like the example of a bank, actually.
Oh, yes,
If you think about a bank, business as usual is running
running people's accounts, putting money in, taking money out, transactions,
So
doing
it's
the
very
statements.
important. Sometimes people try to belittle business. Business as usual is the core.
It's
of
the
business
money-making
part of the
lifeblood
business.
of an organisation.
Yeah, the
If
bit
we
you have to
hurt
get
that-
right consistently, reliably.
And also you need to look at efficiency and effectiveness. It runs like an engine.
Yeah, that's right. And then a project is about change, really, isn't it? It's about changing that business as usual.
It is. It's that step change. And that's often the problems we see is when that step change is enacted, that it will interrupt BAU in some sort of way. So we have to try and minimise that interruption.
So let's have a look at the differences between them then. So projects are unique, short-term, one-off.
Yes.
Business as usual is ongoing.
Ongoing, looking for effective efficiency. We often use functional teams where projects will bring people
So you
together.
might have an operations department. Or,
or an engineering department.
Yeah.
Often they're funded in different ways.
Yeah.
BAU is OPEX, operational expenditure. Often we need CAPEX for big projects, capital expenditure. And of course we need access to that via a business case.
Yeah.
Risks are look differently, aren't they, Paul? The focus of the risk.
The risks, yeah. I mean, business as usual, they have lots of, they still have risk,
Yes,
but they
they
have
do.
low probability but high impact. So, if a bank system goes down, that's a huge
Yeah. And they're
risk.
often known as well, aren't they?
Well,
Or we actually have things in place just in
There's
case.
still the unknown unknowns, but they have contingency plans, I
Yes.
suspect.
If the
Whereas
system
projects
breaks,
are more likely to fail, But the risks, I would argue, are not as significant, because if your banking system shuts down, that's bad news. But if your project's
Yes, and often
few
the risks
weeks
are
later-
unknown on projects. We do our best, don't we, in terms
Yeah.
of analysing and identifying risks.
So they're limited by time. Experts involved. So business as usual tend to be more procedural sometimes.
Procedural, yes.
I wouldn't
Effective efficiency. Often
say process driven. So if you think about a
Process-
bank, and everybody who works in branches of banks, they have to have set out procedures that everybody in
yeah,
that
and they're
organisation.
trained to do that particular job.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
projects, we're bringing experts together, a team together specifically
For
to
that
deliver
particular
that project.
objective, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Projects produce a specific scope once, whereas business as usual will do the same transaction multiple times,
Yes.
or same product
Yes.
multiple times.
And this is where you need effective efficiency.
Yeah.
We can actually, it's like
Projects
a machine.
pursue specific deliverables, whereas
Yes.
business as usual are repeated.
Yes, and this is where the deliverables come in when we talk about requirements in another podcast, is really understanding from the business side what's actually required for
Yeah.
the project to deliver.
Projects have a life cycle, project
Yes.
life cycle. So you start with nothing and you build something
Yes,
new.
start
So I
with
think
an
like
end.
rebranding a bank would have a life cycle. You start with an idea and take it through concept and
Definition,
and delivery.
yes, then-
Whereas products go through a product to life cycle. So
Yes, well, it still starts off with a project, but once it goes into the BAU, then we hopefully get the benefits,
Yeah.
and then it'll have an end.
Eventually.
Eventually. Well, like we're
It's
talking
like
now
cash,
about...
like the cashless society. Will we ever? Will
There won't be such thing as cash.
They
yeah.
did try and phase out checks, didn't they?
Well, they're still trying.
They're still trying.
Yes.
You know, so we all use online banking, but
Well, the
yeah.
reasons why we're doing this podcast, Paul, is because Bok7 is coming to an end.
Yes, okay, so that's phasing out. So that's good. So I got that one. So the next one is define project management. Project management is, shall I just read this out? Project management is the application of process, methods, and knowledge, skills, and experience to achieve the project objectives.
Yes, it's got a mouthful, that,
Process,
isn't it?
methods.
It's the way we do it. It's
Yeah.
how we approach projects in terms of the people that's involved, the expertise, the experience, the knowledge, to how we use this process. And this is where the life cycle comes in. And
Yeah.
all the other processes we use, like requirements process, to make sure we deliver the right things for the right reasons. And
Yeah.
of course, these processes and procedures do support things like governance.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not just, so it's a combination of process, skills, experience, knowledge. So it's
understanding the environment. We
Yeah.
will talk about context in another webinar.
Yeah, I think they talk about those 10 things, don't they, that they have to do. The 10 roles of a project manager, which is on a slide somewhere in the slide pack.
Yes, that's
I'm
right.
not going to list 10 things on.
And again, we'll
it's
talk about
defining
that
the
in roles
scope,
and
defining the
responsibilities.
contract, defining
manage
the
the
budget,
change.
managing the change.
Yes,
Yeah.
the configuration,
Yeah.
the team, motivating.
Managing risk, managing progress, managing the budget, managing communications.
Yes, teams,
managing
stakeholders.
inputs, closing out the project in an orderly manner, managing requirements. So there's lots
Lots
of
of
it.
stuff. Yeah, and to go on that one, not everybody will like to do project management. If you
Yeah.
like the BAU environment, projects may not be for you.
Yeah, that's another debate, isn't it?
It is a very big debate.
So, define project management. So, the combination of skills, processes, and behaviours. The purpose of project management, that's quite an interesting. It says the purpose is to lead and direct the necessary resources to achieve success criteria, including the delivery of specific products to time, cost, and budget.
Well, that's right, but it's linked to something else. You have to have that clear line of sight to the strategy,
To the change.
to the change.
Yeah.
Why are we changing? And now sometimes the
But
questions
it's
we actually
sneaky,
ask.
isn't it? Because in the exam they will say, which of the following are a definition of the purpose of project management?
Right.
So you sort of have to know the definition. The purpose is to lead and direct change. So it's about leading and directing and managing the resources. I think that's probably right, isn't it?
Yes, we talked about that earlier, didn't we?
Yeah. To deliver those success criteria of time, cost, and quality.
And of course-
And then achieve the change for the business at the
For the
same time,
business,
or the
yes,
organisation.
beneficial change.
Good. So the final one is define program portfolio and the relationships between project management. So program causes quite a lot of confusion in people's minds.
Yes, it does.
So let's be the APM's definition. Let's just find out. So a program is the coordinated management of projects and change management activities.
That's right. Change management activities of the BAU.
Yeah. Well, it just says change management activities to achieve beneficial change.
Oh, that's right. The change management activities will be within the BAU.
A coordinator of multiple projects.
Yes.
So, for my mind, those, in the purest sense, those are multiple different discipline projects. So there might be the bank's a good example.
Yes.
So if you were relaunching a maybe spinning off a new bank.
Yes.
You've got new IT systems, you've
Yes.
got new branches, you've
Yes.
got to train all the people in the new branding.
Absolutely.
So, for instance,
Maybe change people's roles
for
in the
instance,
bank.
the TSB left NatWest, didn't it? It was
Yes.
spinned out, or was it Lloyd's? So, you've got to rebrand them all.
That's
set
right.
up the-
Massive programme.
Communicate to the customers that they're being transitioned to
And
a
of course,
new
within
bank.
that change, you actually have people involved. So
Yeah.
you've got to manage the emotional approach with those people too.
Yeah.
Because people don't like
That's
change.
right. That's right. So, for my mind, that's a pure program because it's a
Yes, a transitional program.
It's a transition
Or transformational.
from
yes.
setting up a new bank.
From one state to another.
Yeah.
And of course, within programs, we talk about the as-is state to the to-be state, and that's
Yeah.
that journey
Yeah,
from
yeah,
one to the other.
yeah.
That's the change stuff.
Yeah. So it's not a schedule. So
No.
people talk about the program,
But it's not a schedule.
and it's not the bar chart.
No.
Yeah. So program, let's look at the definition of program. Sorry, portfolio. Portfolio is a selection, prioritization, and control of the organisation's projects, programs,
Yes.
in line with its strategic objectives and its
That's
capacity
right.
to deliver.
That's right. The
Wait a minute.
sum of,
The
yes.
goal is to balance the change initiatives and business as usual while optimising return on
Absolutely.
investment.
Again, that's a very loaded definition, Paul.
Well, I don't know. Loaded is a.
It
it's
is. We're going to break it all down.
It's about achieving the strategic objectives of the business.
That's right. So each project program has to have clear line of sight to achieving those achievable objectives. Otherwise, why are we funding?
in their capacity to
project.
deliver. So, what resources?
What resources do we have in
And
BAU?
how much cash do
Can
we
we
have?
absorb the change?
Yeah,
Do we actually have resources in terms of the people, in terms of skill sets and expertise?
that's right. So we've got constrained resources and constrained skill.
And
we have
money.
Money. And we have to select and prioritise the right projects and programmes to achieve
That's
our
right.
overall
You
objectives.
do. Absolutely do. Because you've got to keep BAU running.
Yeah.
That's your lifeblood of the organisation, as we said before. And so any essential maintenance and upgrades will have to be funded first to
Yeah,
keep that running.
yeah.
After that, then we have to prioritise the rest of the projects.
So-
Which ones give us the best return?
Yeah, so the goal is to balance, that's exactly what you said, the initiatives and business as usual while optimising.
That's right.
So you've got to keep the wheels going
Absolutely.
at the same time as changing the direction.
Yes.
So it's a
I always call
balancing
it my
act.
Wallace and Gromit scenario,
Yeah.
the wrong trousers, where Gromit is putting the track down while the train is still running.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, I think we've
Brilliant.
covered most of those learning outcomes. That's
Thank you
pretty
very
good.
much.
Thanks,
Cheerio.
Paul.
We hope you enjoyed this podcast and found it informative. To find out about our training courses, e-learning or tutor-led course, please go to www.parallelprojecttraining.com.